If God gave you the chance to ask for anything, what would you ask for? Money? Health? Fame? Power? Millions of people dream of a better life. And most of the time, that dream comes with the desire for more comfort, more security, more recognition. But there was a man in the Bible who, when faced with this very opportunity, asked for something completely different. His name was Solomon, and what he asked for changed everything. Solomon didn't ask for riches, protection, or success. He asked for wisdom, a simple request, yet deeply powerful. And even more amazing than his choice is the fact that this same kind of wisdom is available to you and me today. Have you ever felt lost when facing a decision? Regretted acting on impulse or trusting the wrong advice? We all have. And in those moments, we realize intelligence alone isn't enough. What we need is wisdom, that ability to see beyond the present, to have peace before a decision, and clarity after it. Solomon was young when he became king of Israel. As David's son, he inherited a large nation, massive responsibilities, and a tough mission to lead with justice, wisdom, and reverence for God. Early in his reign, he had an encounter with God that would change his life forever. One night, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream and said, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." 1 Kings 3:5, just imagine that scene for a moment. God, the creator of all things, offering Solomon the chance to ask for anything. A rare, extraordinary moment. Most of us would probably ask for something to solve an immediate problem: money, safety, healing, victory over enemies. But Solomon didn't go that route. He replied, "Give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong." 1 Kings 3:9. What Solomon asked for was more than just general wisdom. He asked for discernment, sensitivity, and clarity to make the right decisions and lead with justice. He knew he didn't have all the answers, and that's exactly why he asked for the most important thing: the ability to see with the right perspective. This decision reveals so much about Solomon's heart. Before wanting to win, he wanted to understand. Before conquering, he wanted to serve responsibly. And that moved the heart of God. God's response was immediate. "Since you have asked for this and not for long life or wealth for yourself, nor have asked for the death of your enemies, but for discernment in administering justice, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be." 1 Kings 3:11-12. And more than that, God didn't just give him wisdom. He also gave Solomon what he didn't ask for: wealth, honor, and influence. All of it came as a result of one well-directed request. This story makes us reflect. When you talk to God, what do you usually ask for? Are we focusing more on blessings than on the inner transformation that prepares us to receive them? Solomon's wisdom began with humility, the awareness that we don't know everything, and that to make the right choices, we need God's help. And that same humility is the first step for anyone who wants to live with wisdom today. Instead of chasing quick fixes, what if we pursued deep understanding? Instead of asking for ready-made answers, what if we asked for a heart that can discern? Solomon's decision was made in a moment, but the fruit of that choice lasted for generations. Many people confuse wisdom with intelligence. And sure, they look similar from a distance, but when you get closer, they're very different. Intelligence might help you solve problems, win arguments, or pass exams. But wisdom goes beyond that. It guides you when right and wrong aren't so obvious. It knows when to speak and when silence is better. It stays quiet when words won't help. The Bible never treats wisdom as a mere intellectual skill. It presents it as a life posture, especially in relation to God. Proverbs 9:10 gives the most direct and powerful definition. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It's not fear as in terror, but reverence, a deep respect, a recognition of who God is. It's like the Bible is saying, you begin to become wise when you realize you're not in control and that there's a higher source of truth, justice, and direction. Solomon wrote this in many of his Proverbs. He understood that wisdom wasn't a personal achievement, but a reflection of dependence on God. Another key point is that biblical wisdom isn't just knowledge, it's practical. It shows up in our actions. It's not enough to know what's right. Wisdom is having the discernment to do what's right, at the right time, in the right way. James, the brother of Jesus, described it beautifully in his letter. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. James 3:17. See that? Biblical wisdom has character. It has heart. It's balanced, not impulsive. It doesn't act out of pride or ego. Now, think. For a second, how many of your past decisions would have been different if you had taken a bit more time to pause, to listen to God, to ask for direction before acting? How many conversations could have gone better? How many wrong paths could have been avoided? It's no wonder the Bible compares wisdom to something more precious than gold. Proverbs 3:13-15 says, "Blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her." That's a view totally opposite to the world's mindset. Most people chase after money, visibility, and status. But the Bible says, chase wisdom, because with wisdom, you'll know what to do with everything else that comes your way. Wisdom is the foundation of the best decisions. It protects relationships, guides careers, strengthens families, prevents regrets, and brings peace, even in hard seasons. And the most beautiful part? This wisdom isn't exclusive to Solomon. It's available to anyone who sincerely asks God for it. James 1:5 makes that clear. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. In other words, wisdom isn't a privilege, it's a gift. It doesn't come from stockpiling information, but from a relationship with God. So, if you're going through a season of uncertainty, facing important decisions, or simply want to grow spiritually, maybe what you need isn't another quick answer, but one heartfelt request. Lord, give me wisdom. That simple prayer can completely change how you see your life, and more importantly, how you respond to it. Asking for wisdom is one thing. Living with wisdom day by day is another. And Solomon didn't just receive this gift, he used it. The Bible shows how that wisdom showed up right away in his reign. One of the most iconic and probably the most well-known moments is the famous judgment between two women claiming to be the mother of the same baby. It's a powerful scene. Two mothers come before the king with the same story. Both say the living child is theirs. No witnesses, no DNA tests, just one word. Against the other, Solomon listens carefully and, facing a human deadlock, makes a shocking proposal. "Bring me a sword, cut the child in two, and give half to each." 1 Kings 3:24-25. What sounded like madness was actually a test. Solomon knew the real mother would never let her child be harmed. And that's exactly what happened. The woman, whose son was alive, was deeply moved out of love for her son and said to the king, "Please, my lord, give her the living baby. Don't kill him." Verse 26. In that moment, Solomon knew who the true mother was, and this story echoed throughout the kingdom. People saw something different in their king. He ruled with wisdom, discernment, and justice, and that was just the beginning. During his reign, Solomon stood out not as a warrior king, but as a king of peace and strategy. He organized the nation, built alliances, boosted trade, and led Israel into an economic and cultural golden age. Solomon was also the one who built the temple in Jerusalem, a dream of his father David, but a task Solomon carried out with precision and reverence. He knew it wasn't just a building, it was sacred, and he treated it that way. His fame spread far and wide. Leaders from other nations traveled great distances just to hear him speak. The Queen of Sheba, for example, visited Solomon after hearing about his wisdom, and what she saw left her speechless. She was overwhelmed. She said to the king, "The report I heard in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom is true. But I did not believe these things until I came and saw with my own eyes. Indeed, not even half was told me." 1 Kings 10:4-7, Solomon saw. Wisdom wasn't just theory. It translated into organization, justice, sensitivity, and reverence for what is holy. It made him respected, admired, and remembered to this day as the wisest man who ever lived. And why does that matter? Because it shows us that wisdom isn't just for the big moments. It shows up in everyday life, in how we treat others, in how we listen before we respond, in how we handle conflict, make decisions, and choose priorities. Solomon teaches us that wisdom is practical. It's acting with clarity even when emotions are high. It's thinking beyond the moment. It's choosing what's right, even when it's not easy. If even kings needed wisdom to lead well, how much more do we in our homes, jobs, relationships, and life decisions? The wisdom Solomon received wasn't luck, it wasn't privilege. It came as a response to a sincere prayer, made with humility and awareness of his limitations. And that's the most amazing part. That same access is available to you today. James 1:5 says it loud and clear, "If any of you lacks wisdom, ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." That's the starting point. Wisdom begins with a heart willing to ask, and even more, willing to listen. But how do you grow in wisdom day by day? If this message spoke to you, let me know in the comments. Which area of your life do you feel you need wisdom in most right now? Sometimes simply recognizing that is a huge step in the right direction. And if this video helped you, share it with someone facing big decisions or unsure moments. Sometimes the right word comes at just the right time. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now's the time. We've got more Bible-based content, real-life reflections, and practical insights coming your way. Solomon's wisdom began with a request, a simple prayer from the right heart. And that shows us wisdom isn't about knowing everything, but about knowing where to look for answers. May you choose each day to walk that path. May your faith stay strong, your mind stay clear, and your heart stay open to God's voice. Because when wisdom guides your steps, even the hardest paths become lighter. Thanks for being here. God bless your journey, and I'll see you in the next video.